Broadcast is live. All right, bro. Yep, we're live. Good job, Terry. Yep. First Redskin wide receiver since '88. They said to sign an extension. Yeah, a really long time. Why? Yeah. Oh, with your ear part. Oh, I see. How about if I just give you?
We can switch. I don't. I don't know what the difference is. I can't tell. Oh, okay. That's cool. That should work. Yeah, we gotta go with next time we gotta go with a laptop so we can read these messages. We can't read them.
That's better. Okay, where are you guys? Good brown line. All right. Y'all sound far away. Okay. I got you. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I didn't have it. Okay. All right. We ready? We
All
good
right,
now,
we're
right?
good.
Give us a thumbs up.
All right, great.
Good?
Now we're back. So the thing I like about McLaurin, you know, I would say the fans talk about McLaurin more than McLaurin tweets. He doesn't tweet a lot, doesn't say anything ultra controversial. You know, that's fine. You know, I honestly I think that's what the Commanders really need. Because I think the Commanders, and you know, every now and then, you know, even the Dallas Cowboys could use a little bit less chatter, a little bit more football. You know, what the word, they're all talking. Because now word comes out today that your boy Micah Parsons has some stuff to say about what he and Diggs are going to do next year. I mean, it's. I know a lot of coaches are very superstitious. Don't give the other team locker room, you know, bulletin board material. I get it, but at some point, if you're Micah Parsons, if you are Myles Garrett, whoever, let your talking be on the field. I think let's just leave that in there.
Worry about getting better. Worry about all that other stuff. I mean, everybody's doing too much of this.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
yeah. I mean,
Diggs, yeah, I mean, if we had a trajectory and said, yeah, you guys are supposed to be really good, you know, I mean, you have a lot of potential. You do.
if Dallas was reigning, NFC champs, fine, you can talk a little. You see what I'm saying? But you got to get yourself to that game. You got to get yourself to that last game.
I mean,
you want to be playing. You want to be playing on that last Sunday of the year.
We bet on the future.
Okay.
These guys, their trajectory is way up. I mean, you're talking about Parsons, defensive rookie of the year. You're talking about Diggs, who had the most interceptions in 40 years. 40 years.
That's a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that does nothing for you talking about being like the best corner and the best D line.
Look, for Parsons to improve on last season, a lot of guys around him are going to have to be better too.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to be even better.
He's going to learn how to get off the blocks, on run plays.
He's got to become a student. Got to become a student. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, Tony. His rookie year, they literally were putting him out there. They simplified, they chopped the game plan up. Hey, look, man, we ain't going to do nothing crazy. We're going to show you what you need to do. Those little things that linebackers and defensive ends have to know, those are things like a Ray Lewis would be like, what you going hard on second down for? It's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Save it. You need a change of pace. You got to give that guy, that tackle, a different feel for what you're doing. So then you can hit him with another move. This is where a guy like Reggie White, that's why a guy like Reggie White, all-time great. Shout out to Reggie White and rest in peace. Why Reggie White was so good because, okay, you're going to tell me that Reggie White's bull rush was one of the best ever. If he bull rushed you, that was the best you were going to get. But then he might hit you with the spin move. Then he might hit you with that swim. He can do that swim on anybody. And he can do any of those moves on anybody, anytime. Or he could just do like he did Larry Allen and just throw your ass out the way. All time. These are all-time greats. So if you're Micah Parsons and you want to get to that level, if you're a Terry McLaurin and you want to get to that level, Terry McLaurin was saying, hey, man, I see that those Super Bowl trophies out there. I want to get one. We got to start winning. We got to win games. How do I get myself to where I can help us win more games? And Tony, you played football at the highest level. You understand that it's the game within the game. It's not, hey, I got 1,000 yards. Hey, I caught 120 passes. No, it's one pass. It's that one pass. It's that one pass on third down that you should have caught, right? We talk about the Super Bowl, last year's Super Bowl. Cincinnati Bengals had a legit shot to win that game. Had a bad drop on a third down where Joe Burrow put the ball on the boy. He put it on him. You make that catch there. You don't have to give the football up. Make a couple of more plays. You might have been in the position to win that game, but you had to punt that ball away, and then guess what happened? Matt Stafford and them came down that field and got that field goal. Game's over. Fat lady saying.
Part of the game. The moral of this story is shut the hell up in the offseason.
Now, this is the part where we'll tell you to shut up and play. We're not going to say that often, but this time, shut up and play.
I mean, Diggs, Parsons, Floyd, all those guys are trending up.
Those are young, but those are younger guys in the league. Less than 4 years in the league. You would say for Diggs and Parsons, they're going to learn, man, I ain't going to talk much in the offseason. I'm just going to, I'm going to hit my workouts, get a little vacay in if I got to. But you know what I said with you, Tony, when you were talking in pre-production? The key for young players in the NFL is this. Number one, take care of your body and stay healthy. Number two, stay out of the police blotter, off the blogs. You don't want anybody saying anything negative about you, okay? Your ex-girlfriend, your baby mama, she want to cause a fight. You know what? Don't even go over there. Don't engage. Stay out the newspaper. And then number three, improve. Develop your game. If you're a guy that can only go one way on a quarterback, you got to take that long way around. Hey, man, where's that spin move? Where's that inside move? Where's that rip? If you don't have that, they got a book on you now. Everybody in the NFC East has a book on Micah Parsons, how to get him blocked. Everyone in the NFC East has a book on Chase Young. This is how you get him blocked. This is how we're going to handle it. Everyone's got a book on Diggs now. Everyone's got a book on McLaurin. What are his favorite routes? What does he like to run when he's a...
How do you keep getting better? How do
right.
you take your game to another level? That's what it is. What do you say?
I have no idea.
Oh, let me see.
Scroll it down. Scroll. Yeah, we good. Y'all need to bring me in to announce Diesel.
Yeah, we got you. We got you, DK.
We're going to get you, DK.
We'll get you, baby.
That's one thing I do miss about the NFL not being around is we don't get to see our man DK. DK Williams in the Diesel bus. Best tailgate ever, man.
He's not coming. He has some news. I don't think he's going to be there this year.
He's not going to be there this year. That's big news.
DK,
We're gonna
we'll bring you
when
on
are we
to talk
gonna
about
we're gonna
that.
bring him on now?
No.
We're gonna bring him on next
We'll
week.
bring him on so we can give him a little segment.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, DK. I don't want to steal your thunder. So let's talk about what else is going on. DC area news. Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards signs a 5-year, $251 million Supermax deal, stays in DC. It's a 4-year deal with a player option for the 5th year. He's going to take the 5th year. Averages out to about a little bit, a biscuit under $50.1 million a year. Tony, why are the Washington Wizards supermaxing somebody and they can barely make the playoffs? I don't understand. I'll be frank with you guys. I don't understand this deal. And I know you heard the latest. They gave this fool a no trade. He is the only player in the NBA right now with a no trade clause. He has all the leverage, guys. All of it. Tommy Shepard. Hey, man, come on the show and explain this to me. Like, explain it to me like I'm 5 years old, bro. I don't understand this. And as a Wizards fan, I don't like the move. Number one, Bradley Beal is about to find out very quickly. People in DC don't like him as much as he thinks they do.
No, they don't.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying Beal's not a good guy. I'm not saying he's not a very good basketball player, but he is not worth $50 million a year.
Are they gonna get KD or somebody in here with him?
They can't afford KD, Tony.
We're just talking.
But yeah, exactly. The Washington Wizards are going nowhere next year. Now, I heard some of the pundits say that they should make the playoffs. They should be about a 500 team. Let's talk. When the Washington Wizards are 25-40, we will be right back here on this show talking about this. Okay? The amount of money that Bradley Beal makes is now going to become a topic of discussion more than the wins and the losses. And believe me, this is the
Bradley Beal.
He's not stealing. He didn't steal it. Tony, they gave it to him. He didn't need no gun. You can't call him a Jesse James if they gave it to him. I will say what this is about. This is about the Washington Wizards selling tickets. They were afraid to not have Beal on their team, and they were afraid that they wouldn't get tickets sold. I'm going to let y'all know, Ted Leonsis, ain't nobody trying to pay to see that BS you putting out on the court anyway.
They come to see the other team.
And they're coming to see the other teams. And look, man, no disrespect. At least when we had John Wall, you knew John Wall cared. People like John Wall. I don't like Bradley Beal as much. And John Wall took a good amount of money from Washington, and he was injured. When he started getting injured a lot, and he wasn't on the court, it's just a darn shame, guys. I don't like this move. Guys, hit us in the chat. Hit the like button. Let us know what you think. Bradley Beal in the 5-year, $251 million Supermax. Number one, why are we giving him a Supermax? Can someone explain that in the chat? Someone explain that in the chat for me.
They can't explain that in the chat.
Somebody better explain that to me, dog.
No.
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, a whole lot of other stuff going on. We just wanted to get the DC area news kind of out of the way. Now, Tony, you got some big news about the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, Las Vegas Raiders just
I almost
hired,
called them Oakland. Shout out to Oakland.
folks. They hired the first African American female. She worked with Caesars Entertainment.
Oh, this is yours.
That's
That's a special one. Tony got his special drink over here.
Yeah, she worked with Caesars Entertainment.
Caesars Entertainment.
What is her name? I'm sorry, folks. I lost her name.
What's it, Sherry Morgan, something like that?
Morgan is her last name.
Yeah.
She came over from Caesars. She's the first black woman president of a team.
Well, she already lived in Vegas.
Vegas Raiders. And people are trying to say, well, I said, do they understand that when you're like the CEO, president, you used to run it. You ain't running the football
No.
side, you're running the business and the branding side.
She isn't running no popping. She ain't running a 7-Eleven.
So she ran Caesars, she can run the Raiders. So that's where we all got. We also want to give a shout out to Sports, Megan Rapinoe, Medal of Freedom.
She got the rep. Yeah, Megan Rapinoe gets the Medal of Freedom.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles gets the Medal of Freedom.
So, these athletes.
Sandra Douglas Morgan for the Raiders. Yep.
Oakland, I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't care what anyone says. They're always going to be Oakland to me, man. I'm old school. The Raiders.
I'm old school.
I love them guys,
Just
man.
the Raiders, sorry.
But at least they kept the colors and all of that stuff. So that's good. Hey, I'm sorry to bounce back. Somebody just hit me up. I wanted to bounce back real quick to Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders have new apparel that came out when they came up with the team. Someone was saying that when the jerseys come out, the new jerseys, that Terry McLaurin's going to be the best seller.
Terry McLaurin's going to be the best seller.
As a Commander.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they said Terry McLaurin, he may be.
He would be the most he's going to be the most popular, Washington Commander. And then, when Chase gets himself back healthy and he gets playing, he might be a very popular pick as well. I like it. Two Ohio State guys, kind of like that. And obviously, Chase being a local guy, that's obviously going to help as well. I think what's going to happen, Tony, is we're going to see a lot of change with the Washington franchise. We're going to see more changes. I'm not saying Jason Wright's going anywhere. I'm not talking about that. You're going to start seeing them. They're starting to do things a little different. That's good. Obviously, a lot of turmoil over the early part of the spring and into the summer. You've got to factor in this. Number one, Washington fans, Dan Snyder's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Here's why. 70% of NFL revenue is the TV deal.
Yes.
Not sitting in the stands is not going to do it. That won't make an owner get pushed out of the league. You've got to impact the TV deal. That would mean the ratings have to go down. That would mean the ad buys have to go down. That would mean advertisers would start running away from the NFL because of Dan Snyder. That's not going to happen. He's just one guy in a really big machine. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works, Tony. I just don't see them getting rid of him anytime soon. So if you're a Washington fan, buckle up. You're going to have this owner for a while. He's healthy as a horse. He is not going
any.
any.
Right move for the stadium. That stadium needs to either be in DC or it needs to be a national hall.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't do that, then it's not right. It's not that hard for him. But he's making it hard.
Yeah.
Not hard to be in a major market like Washington, D.C. and do what's right. It's not that hard.
Yeah. I think running the Washington franchise, my opinion, Tony, it ain't that difficult. So that's what I think. I think Jack Kent Cooke made it look easy. He made it look simple. I know it's not simple, but he made it look simple.
It made it look easy because he had Charlie Castle, he had Bobby Bethard.
Hey, what's
He
up,
had some
Twan?
good folks with him.
What's going on, man? It's my boy Antoine in the
What's up,
house. Yeah.
So he made it look easy. It was easy to him. Joe Gibbs, come on, man. He had it all. They had it all together.
It was fun to watch, man. I'm not even a Washington fan. That was fun to watch that franchise do their thing, man. But that was when the NFC East was the NFC East. Those were always great matchups. Madden, John Madden calling the games, Pat Summerall. It was a fun time to be a sports fan growing up here in the DC metro area. You couldn't beat it. And, there were Giants fans that lived around here. There's some Eagles fans that lived around here. Now, let's talk about change, Tony. And when I talk about change, I want to talk about college sports. A lot of talk going on in college sports about some big changes with these conferences. Tony, talk about this money. If the Big Ten was able to expand and pull in some West Coast schools and some East Coast schools and develop basically a national alliance, they could break away from the NCAA if they wanted.
They wanted to. Here's the big thing that people need to understand about what the Big Ten is. have the top 4 TV markets. 4. Number 1 is New York with Rutgers.
with Rutgers.
Number 2 is Los Angeles. Now they have UCLA and USC.
Yep.
Number 3 is Chicago, Illinois, and Northwestern. Number 4 is Philadelphia. That's Penn State. So you got top 4 TV markets in one conference. Then you go down to the 7th. It's Washington, D.C. That's University of Maryland.
That's going to be interesting.
5 out of the top 10. 4 out of the first 4.
What does it hurt? What does it help or hurt the case for schools like a North Carolina, a Virginia, Virginia Tech, that don't sit in large media markets? They can't get in the big with that. I think that puts those types of schools firmly in the SEC. Yeah, I'll take it. So, you see what I'm saying? The SEC is largely smaller markets.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest market they have is what? Nashville, Atlanta.
Atlanta. That would be their largest one,
Yeah,
with
but
Georgia.
technically, it's for the Tech market, but it is Georgia.
It's, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they got Nashville, New Orleans, Atlanta.
Oh, well, they have Texas A&M.
Well, yeah,
Maybe a
but
bit of
that's not a big
that,
market.
but that's not Dallas. That's not Dallas.
Not Dallas. Well, it's kind of Houston. So, I mean, but
You see what I'm saying? The SEC has been made up of largely smaller markets, and so is the ACC.
Yeah.
So in that regard, that footprint might
but
work.
the ACC got lucky because they got Miami, you got Boston,
Pittsburgh.
which is big.
It's a good sized market. That's a good college football
The
market.
one market that helped the ACC grow was the RU.
Yeah.
Raleigh-Durham.
Raleigh-Durham.
But
The Research
the ACC
Triangle.
also has, I mean, Charlotte, which has gotten huge. I mean, so when you start adding those, Boston, Miami is about as big as it gets.
Right.
So, yeah.
If Boston College were a bigger time program, having that Boston market would be, pretty amazing.
Technically, they got New York with Syracuse. The Syracuse guys are New York people.
Those are New York people, yeah. You're right.
So, yeah, so you talk about Boston, New York, Miami, Charlotte, Atlanta. That's pretty damn big.
Now, what about a league like the Big 12? Could the Big 12 pull a Virginia Tech? Could they pull in a Virginia? How would it make sense?
I see Virginia Tech and Virginia only going to SEC
or Big 10.
They
They wouldn't do Big 12.
Before they go Big 12.
Well, going independent, great segue, Tony. University of Football in the United States, Notre Dame. Notre Dame has been kind of pussyfooting with the ACC. They're a partial member. They're not a member for football, but they're a member for virtually every other sport, but not football because they have their TV deal. Notre Dame, if they went into a Big Ten scenario, or if they did something where they joined another league, if they joined the Big Ten network, the Big Ten is talking about $100 million payout per year per school, based off a potential next TV deal. Okay, but if you're Notre Dame, you already have a TV deal with NBC for about 10 to 15 million a year that you don't share with nobody. You got 100 million in this hand and 15 million in this hand. The 100 million, you're beholden to a league. The 15 million, you can just do whatever you want with it. You're not beholden to anyone to get it, and you determine the terms on which you get it. Do you go back to NBC and say, hey, listen, Amazon wants us to be their network, and they're going to give me 75 million, and I get to dictate who calls my games. I get to dictate my schedule to them. You see what I'm saying? See, if you're with a network, and you get with a network, a TV network, they determine when you play or what slot you go in. If you're Notre Dame, you tell them, we want to play on Saturday at 12 o'clock. That's it. And the team and NBC says, okay, whatever you want. You do that, you get to the Big Ten network, they won't be able to dictate that.
Dave, I can't even tell you how crazy this shit is.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't know the VBA and Virginia Tech split up. Do they keep the pack that they had
they can't, at this point, if you're Virginia Tech, you've got Virginia, but you've also got North Carolina, NC State, and Duke. Does Duke? What if North Carolina said we're going to join the SEC? What if Duke doesn't want to? Duke is in that Notre Dame situation. If Duke decided we're just going to be independent, we're going to do our own thing, they could do it. Duke is in a position to do that.
Yeah, when I was in nominated, I had UConn, I had Temple, I had USF, I had UCF, and I make Notre Dame come over and play in the conference all the time so they can get a championship, so they can be eligible for a championship, and then go from there. Keep your team. If not, you're going to be in trouble.
I thought that Notre Dame had a good situation in the ACC, being a partial member. The ACC can survive. Well, back then, the ACC could survive without Notre Dame being in the league as their football program. Okay, because what they would have done with Notre Dame, they were going to put Notre Dame in the Coastal Division, not the Atlantic. Because they put them in the Atlantic Division, that puts them head to head with Clemson every year. You want to set up a Clemson Notre Dame matchup for your ACC championship, similar to what they did in football when they split into divisions. They put Florida State in the Atlantic Division and put Miami in the Coastal, thinking we're going to get a Miami FSU, and they never got one. Virginia Tech would always mess that up. Never got it because they wanted that tie-in. Because here's why: they had that tie. The ACC championship game then had a tie-in to the Orange. They wanted that tie-in to the Orange. Now listen, 30 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when George Welsh was alive, yeah, that was a great matchup in the ACC back before they moved into divisions. That was a great situation if they could have gotten a tie-in to the Orange. They didn't have that tie-in back then. They didn't have it. So at that point, what was the best bowl that they used to get into? What's the best bowl that they used to get into? The Peach? Gator? Peach Bowl used to be for the number one ACC team, it would be the Peach. Second place ACC team used to get the Gator. The Gator, you played in the Gator Bowl before, right? No? I know a couple of guys that played the Gator Bowl. They said that was a pretty good bowl. They enjoyed that. That was a good bowl. One of my favorite bowls was old school Pullan Weed Eater Bowl. That was the one I liked.
I like the
Citrus Bowl. That's what you played that in Orlando. I always liked the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I like that. I just like the name. And plus, I figure the players probably get like free Chick-fil-A, right? Probably get Chick-fil-A tickets or something. Nah, don't play it on no Sunday. You can't get no Chick-fil-A on no Sunday. That's what people be joking. It's like, yeah, Dave, on Father's Day you can get free Chick-fil-A. I'm like, Father's Day on Sunday, man. I can't get no free Chick-fil-A. Tony over here killing these chicken wings, man. You see, one thing we need around here is we need some damn ribs. That's what this place needs, is some freaking ribs. Man, had a slab of ribs the other day. Had me a short stack of ribs the other day. They didn't trim the fat off them joints. Them jokers were so good. Man, it was embarrassing. Sleep and eat. I was out.
Hey, folks, don't do this at home.
See Tony over here. The Chicken Wing Olympics over here, man. Let me tell y'all something. With these teams potentially switching leagues and everything, I'm gonna be confused as hell on a Saturday looking for college football. How am I gonna find that?
Find us right here, folks. Watching this game, making that money.
I can't wait for college football to start. I'm probably more excited about the start of college football season than probably pro. Because pro, it's a little bit of a longer year. College football goes pretty fast. What do you got, 12 games in 16 weeks, 12 games in 14 weeks, something like that, right? NFL football now, 17 games in 19 weeks. That's a long way. You can fall asleep for the first 4 games. You ain't going to miss much. You good. Just wake up around game 4, game 5. Now let's talk about that. First game of the year out the box. Cleveland Browns against the Carolina Panthers. And they just swapped the quarterback out. Baker Mayfield ends up going from the Cleveland Browns. He finally gets out of Cleveland. Cleveland Browns goes to the Carolina Panthers. Now there's a lot of work that was done on this contract, Tony. Had to do a lot. Baker Mayfield was due $18.5 million. Now in the grand scheme of things, you got Kyler Murray saying he worth 50. So 18 million don't sound like much. Hey Tony, if I ask you to borrow 50 million, what's the answer? Man, let me borrow 18 million. That's maybe. You're thinking. It's a lot less. You still ain't gonna get it. But you get the point. The two teams had to work out a deal. Baker Mayfield's gonna take $3.5 million less. The Carolina Panthers are gonna pay 4.5 of that salary, and then Cleveland's gonna pick up the other 14. That's how they made that deal work. So now the quarterback room in Cleveland is gonna be Jacoby Brissett. And the ghost, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett and the ghost of Deshaun Watson. As the NFL decides, they're still in deliberations. Deshaun Watson could be out for a year, bro. I think he gets at least 8 games. It's at least 8. You know what I would do? With them Chargers still, Tony, they got to give him something.
What?
They got to give him something.
Listen, if he raped the women, he sexually abused the women, he should be going to jail. If not, leave him the hell alone.
I'm going to tell y'all something. Deshaun Watson,
Put him in jail. Shit.
he ain't going to jail.
If he's going to jail, then what the hell we talking about?
This is all about spin. This is Roger Goodell having to spin the discipline of the NFL players and getting decisions made. This guy got charges. This guy didn't. This guy was found guilty. This guy was found not guilty. Basically, if it hits the newspapers, you're subject to discipline from the NFL.
Go to jail or let him play.
Listen, get in an argument with your baby's mama, you yelling at her on the front lawn, at least show up, put your handcuffs, put you in the car, drive you away. You getting suspended. You didn't hit her, but you was out in the street acting a god daggone fool when you should know better, okay? You should know better than that. I would say this. You know what they always say? You should never argue with an idiot because people watching might not be able to tell which one of you is the idiot, right? Dude, you and your girlfriend get in an argument. Hey, bruh, one of y'all got to leave the house.
When the police come, somebody got to go out.
Somebody got to go out in cuffs. It's probably going to be the dude that weighs like 250 pounds and plays in the NFL. It ain't going to be her. So I recommend, once people start doing all that shouting and whatnot, get you an Uber if you've been drinking. Get you an Uber. Go stay at a hotel. Just go in a hotel. Close the door. Shut it. Don't open it. Watch you some pay-per-view. Cool out. Just cool the hell out. It does you no good to be sitting there yelling at no woman at 2 a.m. on your front lawn, bruh. Because all that's going to happen is, remember that neighbor that was real nice to you and wanted your autograph? He's going to see your ass out there yelling like a fool. He calling the cops regardless. So make up your mind. And let's talk about autographs real quick. What's up with your boy Deebo Samuel not giving that kid that autograph at the football camp? Get that kid that autograph, man. Look, you got this whole thing. You want to be nice to the kids. Always be nice to the kids.
It was at a football camp.
It was his football camp. Deebo was running his football camp. Hey, look,
That's what you're there for.
take your lessons from Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, every chance he had to go visit an orphanage or a kid's hospital, he would go. He even told one kid, I'm going to hit you a home run. The kid said, I'm going to need you to hit 2, babe. He said, okay, I got you. He did it too. So listen, anytime you're doing these football camps, right, these kids all want these autographs. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to put y'all up on game, okay? You have an autograph day. It's one day. One day. It's a 5-day camp. You put autograph day on day 5. And what's your ticket to get to day 5? You got to show up all 4 days and work your butt off. Tell the kids that. Hey, you work your butt off all 4 days. You come on day 5, I'm going to sign your autographs. Every kid gets to bring in one item. He can bring a jersey. He can bring a helmet. He could bring a football. That's it. You bring it in. You get your signature on there. You stand with Debo. You take a picture. This is not difficult. I know the NFL players, a lot of players, Tony, don't like to sign because they feel like it lowers their market value when they sign for the cards, like top upper deck or clear cards or football cards. A lot of it's business. But you know what? But it's your football camp. Tell your agent before you sign your deal for football cards, he's got to get an exception for his football camp or his personal foundation, whatever. Take care. If you want to take care of the kids, you got to think of them before you get your money. It's something we need to talk about for Brody, by the way. Hey, Brody, when we do your deal, we're going to make sure that you get that set up in there and you do your football camp. We got you, buddy.
Got it, brother. Hey, we just want to make sure, hey guys, get you ready. These Thursday, get you ready because 4 weeks from now, I'm going to be in Canton. I'm going to be coming to you from Canton.
With Jody Coleman.
Yeah, the Raiders are playing the Jaguars. We're going to be up in there trying to interview some of the old heads in the Hall of Fame.
Raiders by 14. Raiders by 14.
Man, you don't even know who's playing in the game.
I don't care. Raiders by 14.
Shit, I don't even know if they're going to have. Man, nobody plays that game.
It's the Jaguars.
The Jaguars will have probably their whole team in there.
Jaguars going to be terrible this year.
They're not.
Over under our wins.
Doug Peterson is their coach.
7 wins.
I don't know about 7, but they damn sure going to have 3.
They're going to win 7. They might win 6 games.
When we see the odds up with the
We see the odds.
Jacksonville's the 3rd worst team in the league.
They're terrible. 4th worst.
4th worst in the league. Plus 12,000 against the
Let me tell you what. Washington Commanders are plus 7,000. Go after that. Go after that.
You'd be better off going after the Jaguars at plus 12,000.
Well, sure, because it's 12,000. But plus 7,000 on Washington, they're going to beat those totals. They're not going to be that bad. Washington might mess around and be 9-8, 8-9.
That ain't getting you in the playoffs.
I didn't say that. They're going to be 9-8, 8-9.
Listen, man.
They won't. I don't think they won't make the.
Everybody better
They
be
might.
worried about if the goddamn
Eagles will be fine.
They're going to be really good.
Eagles should be fine.
They're going to be really good.
Made the playoffs last year
Yeah, with nothing.
with nothing.
So, folks, the Eagles is one of the ones you got to look out for in our division. So,
What else we got?
just trying to get everybody ready. What we're going to try to do, guys, this year is we're going to try to get some of the, we'll get Devin to come on here.
Yeah, we got to
break
get Dad
down
back
some
on.
of the film work for the quarterback.
Shout out to MLB Bro.
MLB Bro with Dev. We'll try to get him to come down and break down some of the quarterbacks. We'll have a little telestrate on here so he can come break it down. Then we're going to get Tommy on here to break down the Washington's defense, the back half. So people always call it talking trash, this and that. He kind of show them what they're playing, what they're doing, what their objectives are, what their goals are. So we kind of, if you're going to talk trash, then at least know what you're talking about. So film work is going to help people to understand the game a lot better. So when you talk trash about Micah Parsons, you can go to the film and say, see, look, he getting hit on this block, he's not breaking through this. Diggs is getting beat on this route, this, that. However, Dak ain't throwing to his person or doing whatever. We're going to break people down all year. That's what we're going to do. So we can bring you the game. Cody's going to work all the fantasy because that's what he does. Then we're going to have Jody, our Midwest person, giving us what Cincinnati and Cleveland is doing. We need to know what's going on out there because those are the outlier teams. Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Buffalo and New England, based upon all the teams that we like in our area.
I like it.
So, yeah, we're going to kind of expand, folks, give them a little bit more than the simple 6 that we had. Add those other 2.
Antoine.
And maybe maybe what they're doing. Something.
Antoine. Who's playing the Wimbledon final for the men's? Is it Kyrgios? Djokovic is, no, he's playing tomorrow. Okay. Hey, Rafael Nadal, torn stomach muscles, out of Wimbledon. Nick Kyrgios gets his first berth in a Grand Slam final. He's going to play the winner of, I think it's Djokovic plays. I don't know who he plays. It's probably going to be Djokovic against Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios, interesting situation. He's got a pending domestic violence thing going on. So, I mean, he could win Wimbledon and then get popped for domestic violence or assault or whatever it is. Just a messed up situation. I think it was his ex-girlfriend, whatever. They're usually very stuffy about stuff at Wimbledon. This is going to be kind of a mess.
Well, their prime minister just resigned today.
Oh, yeah, Boris Johnson. Good for him. Get him out of there.
So, you never know, man, over there. The world is going crazy. One, send prayers out to people up there in Chicago.
Highland Park. Yeah, that's awful, man.
Unfortunate situation that happened. I mean, it's getting bad. We haven't been on here since the guy from Akron
Right.
was killed.
Yeah, it's awful.
And then, we've had, the Uvalde.
We were talking about the Uvalde thing.
We had the Uvalde shooter.
Yeah, that was
where the
3
cops
weeks.
didn't shoot anybody.
Yeah, they didn't shoot
You
nobody.
had the Akron, where they shot over 100 shots. If we could have changed the police in each one, it would have been better.
Probably.
Put the Akron shooters
That's
in
a,
Uvalde, they probably would have saved the kids.
that's a lot of bullets, yo. 90 bullets is a lot.
It's crazy.
Okay. I'm not gonna get too political on that. I got a lot of flack for what I said about the Uvalde thing, but we'll keep that on the DL. It's all good.
That's
Yeah,
human.
it's political.
Political to me.
Yeah.
What party owns human rights, human life? None of it.
It's a mess. This whole thing is a mess.
Ain't political.
Hey, look, man, for real, my take, y'all got to get these guns off the street. These guns is killing
No,
people,
but they
brother.
need proper background checks for people.
Yeah.
The guy in Chicago, his dad sponsored the guns and said he ain't had no problem.
Yeah, he sponsored him to get his guns back.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Love your guns. Get the proper background check for these
Yeah.
people.
Yup.
These people who ain't supposed to have guns. You know who they are. Family members start turning them in.
Yep.
But we end up without an 8-year-old boy that's paralyzed. Now because of
Paralyzed.
youth crap.
And we got the other kid. Yeah, we got the other kid. Kid was kind of wandering around out there. Both of his parents are dead. Both of his parents are dead. It's just really messed up, man. So listen, we're going to be back next week on the TD Report. Hey, JB Brown, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Thank you for listening. JB was on.
Right.
DK, appreciate you, buddy. Get with DK, get with Tony so we can figure out when we're going to put you on, okay?
Get the word on.
Yep.
Tailgate is 1 month from now for the preseason.
I got to get ready. I got to get in tailgate shape. Got to eat some ribs or something.
I'm
Hey.
already at.
We're going to be back next week. Same time, same channel. Who else we got shout outs for? Hey, man, shout out to Simone Biles, man. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Pretty cool, man.
Good work, right? Play for the Texans.
Hey, good luck to them. I heard they've been going out for a minute, right? Congratulations. That's great, man. Excellent. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining us on the TD Report. I'm Dave. He's Tony. Tony's having his wings. We're going to be back next week. Thank you.